The Vietnam War was unlike any conflict the United States had ever faced.
It was not a war of open battlefields and clear front lines. It was fought in dense jungles, flooded rice paddies, winding rivers, and rugged mountains. To fight this war, the United States brought with it one of the most advanced military vehicle arsenals in the world. Tanks, helicopters, trucks, armored vehicles, aircraft, and riverboats. Each designed for mobility, firepower, and logistics. But Vietnam pushed every machine to its limits. M48 Patton main battle tank. The M48 Patton was the primary U.S. tank in Vietnam. Armed with a powerful 90mm gun, it was never meant for jungle warfare.
There were almost no enemy tanks to fight. Instead, the Patton became an infantry support weapon.
It blasted bunkers, cleared jungle paths, and provided psychological dominance on the battlefield. Heavy and difficult to maneuver, it was still respected by enemy forces for its sheer firepower.
M551 Sheridan light tank. The M551 Sheridan was designed to be lightweight and air deployable.
It used an aluminum hull and mounted a massive 152mm gun launcher.
On paper, it looked revolutionary. In Vietnam, however, mines and ambushes exposed its weaknesses.
Its armor was thin, and mechanical issues were common. Still, its explosive firepower made it valuable for infantry support missions.
M113 Armored Personnel Carrier. The M113 became one of the most iconic vehicles of the Vietnam War. Simple, reliable, and endlessly adaptable.
Originally designed to transport troops safely, soldiers quickly modified it for combat. Machine guns, shields, and extra armor were added.
It became a frontline assault vehicle, charging through jungle and enemy fire alongside infantry units. M42 Duster.
The M42 Duster mounted twin 40mm anti-aircraft guns.
Ironically, it almost never fired at aircraft in Vietnam.
Instead, it was used for base defense and convoy protection.
Its rapid-fire cannons were devastating against infantry attacks and ambushes, especially at night.
M110 Self-propelled howitzer.
The M110 was one of the largest artillery vehicles used in Vietnam.
Armed with a massive 203mm howitzer, it delivered devastating long-range firepower.
Used mainly from fixed fire bases, it could destroy enemy positions miles away.
Slow to move, but terrifying when it fired.
M109 Self-propelled howitzer. The M109 became the backbone of American artillery in Vietnam.
Its 155mm gun offered a balance of mobility and power. Firebases across the country relied on it for constant artillery support.
Whenever infantry units were pinned down, the M109 answered. M56 Scorpion. The M56 Scorpion was a strange vehicle.
Lightweight, open-topped, and barely armored. Armed with a 90mm gun. It was designed to fight tanks, but in Vietnam it mainly served in defensive and fire support roles. Crews were dangerously exposed, but the gun was effective when needed.
M35 Deuce and a half truck. No vehicle was more important than the M35 truck.
Nicknamed the Deuce and a half, it carried everything: troops, food, ammunition, fuel.
Convoys of M35s stretched for miles.
They were frequent ambush targets, but without them, the war could not be fought.
M54 5-ton truck.
The M54 was the heavier logistics truck of the war.
Capable of carrying larger loads and heavy equipment.
It transported artillery, vehicles, and construction supplies.
Like the M35, it was vulnerable, but absolutely essential. M151 MUTT Jeep. The M151 MUTT replaced the famous World War II Jeep. Smaller, faster, and more modern.
It was used for patrols, command duties, and reconnaissance. However, its high center of gravity made it prone to rollovers. Despite this, it remained widely used throughout the war.
A-1 Huey helicopter. No vehicle symbolizes the Vietnam War more than the UH-1 Huey.
It changed how wars were fought. Used as a troop transport, medevac, gunship, and command helicopter. The Huey allowed air mobility on a massive scale. Soldiers could be inserted into battle and extracted within minutes. Without the Huey,
the Vietnam War would have been impossible to fight the way it was. AH-1 Cobra. The AH-1 Cobra was the world's first dedicated attack helicopter. Slim, fast, and deadly. It escorted troop helicopters and provided close air support. With rockets, cannons, and machine guns, it could strike enemy positions with precision. The Cobra set the standard for future attack helicopters. OH-6 Cayuse Loach. The OH-6 Cayuse was a small reconnaissance helicopter. Fast, agile, and extremely vulnerable. It often flew dangerously low to draw enemy fire. Once the enemy revealed their position, gunships moved in. It was one of the most dangerous roles of the war. CH-47 Chinook. The CH-47 Chinook was the heavy lifter. Its twin-rotor design allowed it to carry massive loads. Artillery, vehicles, supplies, even damaged aircraft. Where roads did not exist, the Chinook kept the war moving. A-1 Skyraider. The A-1 Skyraider was a propeller-driven attack aircraft. Slow, but heavily armed. It could stay over the battlefield longer than jets, providing close air support when troops needed it most. Its pilots were often the last line of defense. PBR Patrol Boat. Vietnam's rivers were battlefields of their own. The PBR patrol boats operated in the Mekong Delta. Fast, shallow draft, and heavily armed. They patrolled rivers, escorted convoys, and fought ambushes from the jungle banks. M274 Mechanical Mule. The mechanical mule was a small, rugged transport vehicle, used to carry supplies through jungle paths and rough terrain. Simple, noisy, but incredibly useful. M706 V100 Commando. The V100 Commando was an armored security vehicle, used for convoy escort and base defense. Its armor protected crews from small arms fire and ambushes. The Vietnam War tested American technology like never before. U.S. vehicles were powerful, advanced, and numerous. But the jungle neutralized many advantages. From tanks and trucks to helicopters and riverboats, these machines shaped how the war was fought. They tell a story of adaptation, innovation, and survival in one of the most challenging conflicts in modern history.